The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello and thanks for joining us for the news. I'm Rex Litter. In this edition, PM defends PNG's economic status. Upper IP court in border dispute. And Wine eager to rep PNG in World Cup. Prime Minister James Marape has again reassured Papua New Guinea citizens that the country is not in a debt crisis, but in a phase of disciplined recovery and strategic growth. He said Papua New Guinea is managing its debt responsibly, with the current debt to GDP ratio remaining below 45%, well within sustainable limits by global standards.
Prime Minister James Marape has reassured citizens of Papua New Guinea that the nation is not facing a debt crisis, but rather is undergoing a phase of disciplined recovery and strategic growth. He emphasized that the government is managing its debt in a responsible manner, with the current debt to GDP ratio remaining below 45%. This, he says, aligns well with sustainable limits by global standards. Marape highlighted that the government is not engaging in reckless borrowing. Instead, it is adhering to a disciplined fiscal framework that is structured around a comprehensive 13-year economic and fiscal plan. This long-term strategy is aimed at keeping debt levels controlled while simultaneously fostering economic expansion. He said for the first time since 2010, the government is on track to deliver a balanced budget next year, which is a significant milestone. Moreover, Marape said that when managed properly, it is not a weakness, it is a tool for development. He said the key is ensuring that borrowed funds are invested in productive sectors that grow the economy, create jobs, and generate revenue for the future. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
One of the most historic conflict zones in Southern Highlands Province has finally closed a painful chapter. After decades of violence, loss and reconciliation, the people of Bela in Mendi Muhinu electorate have officially sealed a peace agreement that many say has already stood the test of time.
On Friday, the 17th of April 2026, the vision reached a historic milestone with the official peace signing. Community leaders including Konjob Winkom, Makor, and Terale came together to witness a process finally come full circle after more than 25 years of lived peace. Church and development partners including the Catholic Church, UNDP, and World Vision were also recognized for their long-standing support throughout the reconciliation journey. Bela was once a key service center in Southern Highlands Province. From the 1960s, it was home to one of the province's first primary schools and 8 posts, council offices, and resident nurses, serving surrounding communities. But for many born after 1993, Bela is remembered less for its development and more for the years of conflict that followed. A tribal conflict that lasted nearly a decade between the Kondub Konjob and Menpo Humsems, destroyed infrastructure, halted development, and created a lost generation who missed out on education and opportunity. The first major step toward peace came in 2000, led by the late Andy Akivi with support from the Catholic Church and leaders from both parties. Figures such as the late Tepnis Yongun, Pisa Solo, Humbur, Kope Akivi, and others held the foundation for reconciliation. Peace was tested in 2004 with the killing of young teacher Moses Akivi. Tensions rose again, but community leaders stood firm, choosing peace over revenge. In the years that followed, development began to return, including the establishment of the Bella TVET, symbolizing unity and rebuilding. The message from Bella is clear: peace has prevailed, unity has returned, and rebuilding can now move forward. Community leaders say the future of Bella lies in the hands of the next generation. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 News.
Community leaders in Wangang village in Lay's Ahi local level government have welcomed a much-needed health awareness program that was conducted on HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis and cancer. Local leaders and community members acknowledged the program's importance, particularly in addressing tuberculosis, which remains a major health concern.
Ahi Hope Foundation, the corporate social responsibility implementing arm of landowner company Ahi Investment Limited, completed a 5-day health awareness program across the 6 Ahi villages of Lay. The program aimed to strengthen community knowledge on HIV and AIDS, tuberculosis and cancer through a collaborative public health approach. Delivered between April 8 to 10 and 13th to 14th, the program was implemented in partnership with the Morobe Provincial Health Authority, Lay District Health Disease Control Program, and the PNG Cancer Relief Society. The awareness sessions focused on disease prevention, early detection, stigma reduction, and the importance of seeking timely medical treatment. Furthermore, women and interested community members were referred to the Engau Memorial Provincial Hospital for cancer screening. Ruth Paul, who represents Law and Order in Ward 6 and 7 of Wagang, said the Ahi Hope Foundation initiative has helped individuals reflect on their personal responsibility when it comes to health.
Talk about HIV/AIDS, yes. Plenty em also think also this la work blow HIV em also gaman, but em real. So this la program em come inside and make awareness. That's good pla lo. Kerapin bel na ting blow. All people place that all no can make him this la kind. Almost faithful within their partners only. And about the TV, yes, inside the place case blow TV and pull up through. Legally pikinini go na lapun man meri only got this la sick. But because all yet almost come out na own up na honest all yet na talk out this la sick is seven said one time all. So this time all pass him go out all get a line. So now awareness come clear him plant is something where doubt inside the thinking blow man meri lo place so all basawe. He got marasin blow this la something is stop. He got all LP me stop. So this time good pla all can come down na. Look sawel this all I hope kisin this la program come and make him all thinking blow clear so all can go na kisim all treatment or one half all can think all can go lem.
Speaking on behalf of beneficiaries from West Wagang Village, Councillor Tali Aiko noted the increase in TB and AIDS cases in the village.
We also have AIDS in this village. They don't say that, but it's here, we know it. And so this is a good education to all our parents and the young ones who are attending to this, so that we can pass on this message to others as well in this village and make this village a healthy one.
Kamela Guare, TV1 News, Lay.
Prime Minister James Marape has returned to Port Moresby after an extensive visit to cyclone-affected communities across Milne Bay Province, where he saw firsthand the devastation left by Cyclone Myla and met with families beginning the long process of rebuilding. The trip took the Prime Minister to some of the hardest-hit island communities, where homes were flattened, gardens destroyed, and access to clean water and medical supplies disrupted.
Prime Minister James Marape has returned to Port Moresby after an extensive tour of cyclone-affected communities in Milne Bay Province, where he witnessed firsthand the devastation caused by Cyclone Myla. During his visit, he met with families who are beginning the challenging process of rebuilding their lives and communities. The Prime Minister traveled to some of the hardest hit island areas where he observed extensive destruction, including flattened homes, ruined gardens, and disrupted access to clean water and medical supplies. For many villagers, it was the first time a sitting prime minister had visited their homes immediately following a disaster. Amid the destruction, Marape expressed heartbreak and inspiration as he stood amongst the debris and uprooted coconut plantations. The Prime Minister's visit highlights the government's commitment to supporting affected communities in their recovery efforts and highlights the resilience of the people in the face of such significant challenges. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
You are watching TVWAN News. When we come back, a Ramu Nickel agreement review and Central condemns Gulf boundary claim.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Toks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time cooking chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
New Fabuloso multi-purpose cleaner with an irresistible fragrance that lasts all day long, creating a field of flowers in every corner of your home. With an irresistible fragrance that lasts and lasts all day long. Fabuloso, irresistible fragrance.
Spine-tingling atmosphere here.
One of the greatest origin matches we've ever seen.
In the Pacific, sport is a lot more than just a game.
It's about mana, the spiritual power within us all.
Le Malo Sianga, from our people, our strength, and the heart of the Pacific.
It's driven by custom, our connection to culture, and bringing people together.
And Matavuvale, where every player stands tall for themselves and their community.
And it's about sharing those incredible stories.
Join us every week
for all the sporting action from across the Pacific.
Your Pacific sporting journey starts here.
Welcome back. The Ramu Nickel Cobalt Project Special Mining Lease 8 Community Development Agreement Review is underway in Madang Province. Minister for Mining Solan Loifa officiated at its opening at Jais Abel Resort on Monday, April 16th. The meet will feature discussions and the review of the Community Development Agreement signed in 2000. The last review of the agreement was done in 2013 and lapsed in 2018. During the opening ceremony, Minister Loifa said he is tasked to deliver SML-14 for the Ramu project Phase 2 mine expansion. He said his presentation to Cabinet needs to show that SML-8 was done fairly to ensure lessons learned in SML-8 repeated in SML-14. The Central Provincial Government has condemned a recent move by the Gulf Provincial Government to attempt to extend its provincial boundary into Central Province. Central Governor Rufina Pita, in a media conference today, said Upper Naipi has been part of Central Province for many years and will continue to be. Upper Naipi is a village located in the Mekeo local level government area of Kairuku District, Central Province. The village lies on the border of Central and Gulf provinces and has long been a disputed area with cultural and traditional ties to both provinces. The issue resurfaced when Gulf Governor Sir Chris Haiveta reportedly claimed recently that Upper Naipi falls within Gulf province boundary. In response, Central Governor Rufina Peters said the Central Provincial Government is seeking clarification on why Gulf is pushing its boundary into Central Territory.
The jurisdiction is there in terms of boundaries. So he is responsible for his people within his boundaries, his jurisdiction. I'm not asking help from him to come and get my people and benefit from that project. So it's clearly where the boundaries are, you stick to your boundaries and I stick to my jurisdiction and my people.
She confirmed that a letter has been sent to the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs calling for a meeting between the two provinces to address the matter.
But the mediation process is important for us. Because we don't want to be running to courts and fighting court battles on this one. We want to sit around the table and go through that process to mediate.
Governor Peter stressed that both provinces are neighbors and should resolve the issue amicably. She said going to court over such matters does not present a good image, urging for round-table discussions to find a peaceful solution. The Central Provincial Government is now awaiting a positive response from Gulf Province to begin talks and settle the dispute. Meanwhile, attempts to get the comments from the Gulf Governor Sir Chris Haiveta were unsuccessful. The Bank of Papua New Guinea marked a 51-year anniversary of the introduction of the legal tender of Papua New Guinea, the Kina and Toya, on 19th April 2026 with the announcement of a year-long campaign, Know Your Currency, Survey-Long Money Belong You. BPNG observes Kina and Toya Day as part of its annual calendar of activities that aims to raise awareness of the legal tender and its history. The observance is an effort to educate the public on the legal tender, its history and recognition of the national currency as a source of national pride. To mark the start of the campaign, the bank will push the first of a series of information kits to observe Kina and Toya Day. Activities began last week at the University of Papua New Guinea with BPNG support to banking and finance students to host a mini Kina and Toya Day exhibition on Monday, 20th April 2026. Church leaders are calling for urgent action to save newborn babies from HIV, syphilis and hepatitis B. Archbishop Sir John Cardinal Ribat says faster rollout of the triple elimination strategy is critical as infant infection remain high in Papua New Guinea.
The chairman of the PNG Christian Leaders Alliance on HIV and AIDS, Archbishop Sir John Cardinal Ribat, says integrating screening and treatment for HIV/AIDS, syphilis, and hepatitis B during antenatal clinic is the most effective way to reduce mother-to-child transmission. He says Papua New Guinea continues to face alarming rates of infection, with about 7 infants infected with HIV every day as of 2024. Cardinal Ribat has acknowledged Australia's support towards eliminating HIV by 2030, but says more commitment is needed locally. He is urging the government to fund screening and treatment in all church-run and government health facilities before the end of the decade, especially in rural areas. He says integrated antenatal care provides a one-stop service, improving diagnosis, strengthening health systems, and ensuring babies are born free from preventable infections. Cardinal Ribat is also calling on the Prime Minister to release funding to support the nationwide rollout, saying no woman or child should be left behind. Joanna Pile, TVWAN News.
In finance news, Kina closed lower at $0.2307 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2232 at 0.3083 Australian dollars, 0.1820 euro, and 35.33 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, oil closed lower except palm oil and crude oil closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues when we come back. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's OneTalk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's OneTalk Wallet. PSP's OneTalk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. Smile throughout your day with Colgate.
You sabi tu some condom and one way where you can abuse him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy, Tingim, use condom long right plaway. Stop safe na lookout him yet. Use condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use condom good all get a time. Long haborusim sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
The Pacific flooded with drugs. Over 2 episodes, we take you across the Pacific to lift the lid on the sinister web of transnational crime.
We have become ground zero. Everyone's involved. It's a free-for-all.
Some officers forgot that they are police officers.
Matthews has increased.
Fueled by smugglers paying with drugs.
Fiji is the world's fastest growing HIV epidemic.
Fiji is at risk of becoming a nation of zombies.
Foreign correspondent.
Thanks for staying with us. In news overseas, there are warnings that food prices could rise by as much as 10% because of higher fuel and fertilizer prices. Even if the oil crisis eases, prices are expected to remain elevated for the rest of the year.
Milking cows is a tough job at the best of times.
Come on, girl. Come on.
But during a global conflict, the pressure is unbearable.
Farmers they're just exhausted. They've had enough.
The costs of fuel and fertiliser have skyrocketed, but the price of milk at the supermarket has barely moved.
I think it has to go up. If it doesn't go up, the long-term viability of the dairy industry is going to be very much in question.
And it's not just milk. Red meat, fruit and vegetables, anything that requires refrigerated road transport are just as vulnerable.
All of those are going to be affected because you're getting the double impact of fuel plus the fertiliser price, which are both incredibly elevated.
Since the war started, diesel has soared from 186 cents a litre to a peak of $3.28 on the 9th of April, while fertiliser costs are up from $900 to more than $1,500 a tonne, a rise of 72%. Farmers say they can't absorb that cost and want supermarkets with their billion-dollar annual profits to step up.
We all need to wear our own fair share of the burden we've got at the moment. That includes growers, households, but also supermarkets.
Both Coles and Woolworths say they want to strike a balance between helping producers and keeping prices down for consumers. But yesterday, the Fair Work Commission ordered supermarkets and other companies to conduct more frequent reviews of their transport contracts to help trucking companies deal with the fuel crisis. Analysts are predicting fresh produce prices to rise by 2 to 3% and by as much as 10% in regional areas, and stay that way for much of 2026.
So we are potentially in for maybe 6 months of a bit of price pain.
Even if the war in the Middle East is resolved soon, experts warn the impact on global fuel supply could take years to return to normal. And that means for farmers like Ben Bennett, the high cost of doing business, and therefore the cost of our food, is set to become the new normal.
We live in a very varied world and a bit of stability would be much appreciated.
The tourism sector has made a plea to state and federal governments to help get them through the winter season. Unpredictable fuel prices have seen businesses hemorrhage money as travellers put their holiday plans on hold.
Have dipped back below $2 a litre.
I've noticed it's definitely gone down compared to the last couple of weeks.
But empty caravan parks are a sign tourism operators are still struggling, like this Cairns business. Cancellations have cost them $35,000.
Instead of getting the phone calls to book, we're getting the phone calls to cancel the booking that's existing.
The sector is asking for $50 million in government support.
We want to work with the state and federal government to come together and identify the levers that we can pull that will actually support these businesses from cash flow and retaining their workforce over the next 90 days.
To help businesses power through the winter.
They rely incredibly heavily on the winter tourists, which are primarily grey nomads travelling from interstate.
This sits squarely with Canberra. Fuel security, supply and transparency are national responsibilities.
The Queensland Government says it's written to the Commonwealth asking what the next step is in supporting local operators. The federal government says it's taking every practical step to shield Australians from fuel supply impacts. The industry has reinforced the Queensland Premier's calls for a national dashboard disclosing fuel availability.
In any crisis,
cash is king. However, the ace up the sleeve is information.
In central Queensland, uncertainty of fuel supply pumped the brakes on a round Australia trip for these Sydney retirees.
I think at this stage we're probably only going to get as far as north of Queensland before we turn around and go home again.
The Narungga people from South Australia's Yorke Peninsula say they have been sidelined in negotiations over one of the nation's largest copper projects. They say the hillside project near the town of Anderson is destroying Narungga heritage as it builds infrastructure to the site. They want the federal government to issue urgent stop work orders.
On this Yorke Peninsula farmland, construction of an underground copper mine is underway. Owner Rex Minerals, a subsidiary of an Indonesian conglomerate, is rerouting the highway to accommodate the mine. Work native title holders say is being done without a cultural heritage management agreement.
We believe that their machinery is just destroying daily our cultural heritage.
1,000 Narungga artefacts were identified in an initial site survey. These photos of a documented Narungga site were taken by a former heritage monitor. He says Rex Minerals only alerted him to the damage after it was bulldozed.
What I want is for it to be handled correctly and managed correctly for all of the Yorke Peninsula.
Rex Minerals did not respond to the ABC's questions about the incident. In a statement, the company says it complied with SA laws, including employing Narungga monitors to manage heritage on site. It said rigorous archaeological surveys had also been undertaken. Narungga Nation Aboriginal Corporation says negotiations have also stalled on a promised benefits sharing agreement.
10 years ago, the mine was a long way off, so the goodwill back then may not be as current today as it was then.
Rex Minerals say they have presented multiple benefit-sharing proposals to Narungga Nation, but they haven't been able to reach an agreement. The native title body has now called on the federal government to urgently intervene and stop work at the mine to make way for an independent assessment.
The Tasmanian and federal government has agreed to invest $165 million to help ease the housing crisis. The money will be spent on building new homes and the infrastructure to support them, and it is set to flow almost immediately.
On fixing Tasmania's housing crisis.
This is a really important new partnership.
The federal government has granted the state government $50 million and will loan it another $115 million. The money to be used to support home builds and the enabling infrastructure.
Water infrastructure, it's electricity, it's footpaths and roads. These are the things that actually stop us building the housing we need on incredible sites like this.
They say the deal will help get 4,000 homes built, half of them to be reserved for first home buyers. They're slated for the Meander Valley, Sorell and here in Brighton.
30 minutes from the city of Launceston or Hobart, and very attractive and affordable for people to live in nice environments and travel in and out of the city to work, pleasure or schooling reasons.
We like to claim we are the first home owners capital of Tasmania, and this just further comes to prove that particular point.
The National Housing Accord aims to build 1.2 million new homes across the country by 2029. But recent reporting has found that target is in danger of being missed. Despite the construction workforce already being under strain, Housing Minister Claire O'Neill says today's commitment will be delivered on.
The difference with this program is that the government's integrally involved in actually building the homes.
At the other end of the housing spectrum, the Federal Housing Minister has also toured the Hobart Women's Shelter. It's building 15 new units to keep up with demand.
We're currently turning 8 out of 10 women and children away, so last year we turned away 822 women and children.
Showing just how much work is needed to fix Tasmania's housing crisis.
You're watching TVWAN News. Later in sports, PNG under-16 convincing win and Gurias win at home.
Always on WhatsApp? Then this is your style of banking with TISA.
check your account balance, or even chat with a TISA Bank agent, get started today by following these simple steps. 1. Save TISA Bank's official WhatsApp number in your phone. 2. Open WhatsApp and send a simple hi. 3. Follow the menu to start banking. It's that easy. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
Help stop the spread of germs and protect your loved ones with Protex. Here are some simple hand washing tips. Use soap or liquid hand wash. Vigorously scrub hands in circular motion. Scrub in between fingers and nails. Do not forget the back of the palm and around the wrist. Rinse with clean running water. Dry hands with a clean paper towel or cloth. Protex. Clean hands, good health.
Use our tools and condom and one way where you can abuse him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy. Ting him. Use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborus him sick HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banish him you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Noodles. Tastier, but you like him more.
Different battles, same intensity. April Saturday blockbuster movies. From the skies to the streets to the secrets buried deep inside. The threat is everywhere. When the clock is ticking and everyone is a suspect.
What do you intend to do?
Catch it. Enter the danger zone this April. Every Saturday, only on Hits Movies.
What a shot. And that will score just like that. They're going to draw first blood. Oh, that is good. They're waiting for the line. He's telling a beautiful pass. Yes, what a run there from Joseph Kora from dummy half.
You promised we'll grow old together, remember? That's exactly the reason why we bought our houses close to each other.
Marvy, Elvie, Paula, thank you.
Welcome back. The PNG International and Kelly Cogra's utility player in the RFL Championship UK, Emmanuel Waine, has reset his goal to give the PNG Kumuls another crack for this year's Rugby League World Cup, hosted by Australia, New Zealand and Papua New Guinea starting October 2026.
29-year-old Chiwaka man Emmanuel Waine made his international debut for the PNG Kumuls in their 24-14 victory over Fiji in the 2022 Pacific Test. In 2023, he joined the London Broncos before signing a 2-year deal with Bradford Bulls in 2024. Waine now plays for Kylie Coggers in the 2026 RFL Championship on a season-long loan from Hold'em. In a recent interview with RugbyLeagueHub.com, Waine expressed renewed passion and hunger to wear the red, black and gold colours again if given an opportunity in this year's Rugby League World Cup. He believes constant exposure to playing consistently at a high competitive level has given him the motivation to have another crack. Commenting after their 62-6 loss against his old team London Broncos over the weekend, Wilder said playing against Broncos always brings back a lot of fond memories.
Tough day for us, but it is what it is. London side, they're a really good team, full-time team, and come here and challenge ourselves is really, it helps us in so many ways. So we'll go back and then work on this weekend game and then improve.
With the Rugby League World Cup coming up this October and the Chiefs entering NRL in 2028, Wilder expressed great optimism and excitement for the opportunities on offer for the PNG boys in the UK.
To be honest, London are doing great with PNG boys here. They're going really well now. We got World Cup coming at the end of this year, and we got Chip as well. So that's really good to develop our game here and then bring it back home as well. So yeah, credit to what London are doing here in the capital as well. So I'm really looking forward to, be part of Chip and probably into World Cup.
Wilder again expressed his ultimate dream to be part of the inaugural PNG NRL team come 2028.
That's something I'm looking forward to. If the opportunity present, and I'm just looking forward to get my game up and fitness level and everything in order for me to get into the Chip. Especially my focus now is to get into World Cup. That's it, and then look into Chip later. But focus now is to get better on myself and then get back to World Cup end of this year.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sport.
Papua New Guinea girls delivered a dominant performance in the OFC Under-16 Women's Championship qualifier, defeating American Samoa 8-2 in front of the home crowd at PNG Football Stadium in Port Moresby yesterday afternoon. Osalina Gunemba and Kristen Sifas were the outstanding for PNG side, contributing 5 goals to boost the lead to victory.
Papua New Guinea dominated the match against American Samoa from the start, controlling possession and creating chance after chance. Kristen Sifas opened the scoring in the 12th minute, moving through the defense and finishing calmly to put the home side ahead. The lead quickly grew. Oskalina Gunemba scored twice, with one powerful shot into the top corner and another after breaking away from halfway. Sifas added 2 more goals before halftime, completing a first-half hat-trick as Papua New Guinea went into break leading 6-0. American Samoa came out stronger in the second half and were rewarded with 2 goals, including a first of the tournament, but an own goal from the visitors and a late finish from Delma Duadak sealed the 8-2 victory. The result ends American Samoa's hope in the tournament, while PNG prepares for a crucial deciding match later this week. Michael Tamtipais, TV1 Sports.
The Papua New Guinea Kickboxing Federation successfully hosted heat number 1 of the last man standing tournament over the weekend in Port Moresby. The event took place at the Sir John Guy Stadium and attracted an estimated crowd of between 300 and 400 spectators.
New Guinea, Charles.
70 amateur fighters were promoted to semi-professional and professional ranks following strong performance during heat number 1 of the last man standing tournament in Port Moresby. At the completion of the tournament, 25 fighters qualified for the quarterfinals scheduled for May 30th. Those who qualified include Aruni Stanley Hanku, David Kingston, Billy Kevapo and several others. The heat number 1 will continue through the semi-finals and grand finals, where top fighters across 5 weight divisions will compete. The best fighters will not only be rewarded with prizes, but also selected into the national team. President of PNG Kickboxing Federation, Stanley Nadex, described the event as one of the best he has seen, praising the skills and determination shown by upcoming fighters. He also confirmed that international promoters have shown interest in PNG fighters following recent overseas events. Nadex acknowledged the fighters for showing up for the event and commended the efforts of coaches, trainers and officials who continue to develop the sport despite limited support. He noted that PNG KBF aims to build a strong professional pathway and help local fighters compete internationally. Meanwhile, the Federation hosts heat number 2 in Goroka this weekend. More than 100 fighters are expected to compete. The East New Britain Egma Gurias averaged their opening round 1 loss to MPG Candice. On Saturday proceedings, a dominant attacking display against the Bintanga Goroka Lahanis, 30-18 on home turf, Therabal Queen's Park. The home side ran in 6 tries to 3 in an entertaining contest.
William Tiran led the charge with a double, striking in the 9th and 49th minutes for the East New Britain Egma Gurias, while Chris Benjamin added a first-half try in the 31st minute. The Gurias kept the pressure on after the break through Johnson Simon in the 54th minute, Terry Wapi in the 65th minute, and Muka Kado, who kept it off late in the 75th minute. In the Goroka Lahanis showed glimpses of their attacking flair early through Manu Sent in the 5th minute before Fidla Omena crossed in the 18th and 42nd minutes. Chekazi added another in the 42nd minute to keep them in contention. From the kicking tee, Mark Alunga was instrumental for the Gurias, slotting 3 conversions from 6 attempts. The Lahanis managed 2 conversions from 3 attempts, with Fidla Omena converting in the 6th minute and John Nom adding another in the 44th minute. Nom also contributed the only penalty goal for the match, calmly converting in the 40th minute. Despite their efforts, the Lahanis couldn't match the Gurias' attacking firepower as the home side maintained control to secure a convincing win. The Gurias face Wamga Mount Hagen Eagles in another home game on Saturday, while the Lahanis hosts Gulf Iso at the National Sports Institute in Goroka on Sunday. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Asilawagi Tumbe opened their round 2 campaign with a tough win over Upper Highlands rival NPL Angemiyoks 20-26 at the John Ambane Oval in Minsk last weekend. The main showdown between Croton Hella Widman and Wampnaga Mount Hagen Eagles was decided by a field goal in favor of Widman.
Very quickly to shut them down through the front door, but this time...
From the outset, Osilawagi Tumbe took full advantage of their home crowd with a strong start following last week's loss to Central Debaris in Port Moresby. John Amoti crossed in the 1st minute, but NPL Angemiyoks leveled the score through Ronnie Sorrento in the 11th minute. Mioks then took the lead in the 15th minute with a try from Ezariah Sadley. Tumbe answered back in the 20th minute with Samuel Wan touching down, and Charlie Buka added a successful conversion in the 30th minute. Isaac Pala gave Tumbe the edge heading into halftime with a try in the 29th minute. The second half saw Tumbe extended their lead through Salika Matthew in the 34th minute before Mioks fought back with tries to Pius Kudala and Junior Lole to even the contest. However, Anderson Andape proved decisive, scoring twice to secure the win for Tumbe, who finished with 1 successful conversion from 6 attempts. The match also featured disciplinary and medical interruptions, both Bobby Joel sin binned in the 40th minute and Mioks Paluse Ake sent to the bin in the 32nd minute. Head injury assessment was recorded for Mioks, with Elijah Yarrow undergoing evaluation in the 59th minute. The main clash between Mount Hagen Eagles and the Hella Wigmen delivered an intense, evenly matched contest, with both sides crossing for 4 tries each. At 22-all, the decisive moment came late, with Stafford John calmly slotting a 1-point field goal in the 79th minute to edge the Wigmen ahead. Both teams made full use of their benches with 8 interchanges apiece, rotating players throughout the match to maintain intensity until full time. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sport.
West Tigers are desperate for an immediate rebound when they host the informed Raiders in a Thursday night blockbuster at Leichhardt Oval. Thursday's clash is the second at Leichhardt this year, with just a handful of tickets left for a blockbuster between the resurgent Tigers and reigning minor premiers.
Benji Marshall's men suffered a tense 1-point loss to Brisbane last weekend, and the coach is calling for a quick response for their home fans. Lua is set to take another step forward in his second game back from a knee injury and will look to develop his partnership with halfback Adam Dewey. Api Koroisau has been one of the form players across the opening 7 rounds of the season and has another chance to press his claims for a New South Wales origin call-up. After a slow start to the season, the Raiders have found their stride in recent weeks with back-to-back wins. Raiders will be without Hudson Young, Josh Papali, in-form centre Simi Sasasigi, who has a hamstring niggle. Benji Marshall has shaken up his backline with centre Stanford Toa set for a first NRL appearance of the season and Perth-bound winger Luke Laulili coming into the side at the expense of Hermasi Makasini and Patrick Herbert, who have moved in the chains. The pair's inclusion has seen Latu Fainu drop off the 6-man bench and back to the reserves. Raiders centre Simi Sasagi was named on Tuesday, with coach Ricky Stewart revealed Wednesday that he would miss the game with a hamstring strain. The loss of Hudson Young to suspension sees Noah Martin join the starting side. Veteran prop Josh Papali is out with a calf injury, so Joe Roddy is the new man on the bench along with Dane Laurie, who will make his Raiders debut after joining the club from the Panthers. Chevy Stewart and Sevilo Tamale are also part of the 6-man bands. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That ends the news sports segment. Now the weather forecast. In regional focused, Southern, Port Moresby, mostly fine. Kerema cloudy with then some rain showers and isolated thunderstorms. Alotau, partly cloudy with few showers. Momase, lay cloudy periods, then some rain showers. Vanimo, mostly fine. Nigini Islands, Lorengau and Kavieng, partly cloudy. Kimbe, cloudy periods with some showers. And Highlands region, Mendi, Tarian, Wabeg, cloudy periods, then few showers. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with southeast winds of 20 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, Bismarck Sea and Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, to Kioi Island, Kerema, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samare Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters west of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finsafen, through Vitia Strait to Siasi Long Island, to Madang to Wewak, Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, and waters of Manus and its western Gripe Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that has been another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by